Saturday Social is powered by EA Sports FIFA 23 with PlayStation.
Okay, we thought we'd do something a little bit different here, because obviously Man City and Arsenal kind of running away with the league, dominating most people's Premier League team of the seasons.
Yeah.
And with you both on the show, we thought we'd get a neutral perspective on the best of the rest. So we're going to be building a Premier League team of the season that doesn't include either Manchester City or Arsenal players. There's some really good names in there still, isn't there? I think we should get straight into it. Let's go with goalkeepers. Who's been the best goalkeeper in the Premier League, not including a Man City or an Arsenal name there?
I'd say Nick Pope for me. I think he's an unbelievable shot stopper. I think he's still a relatively young keeper. You know, being in the sticks for Newcastle and what they're doing, Champions League football potentially on the horizon. I think the mistake that obviously cost him not playing in the League Cup finals kind of damaged his reputation this season, but he's an unbelievable keeper, and there's a reason that he's picked for England squads, consistently.
Yeah. Who have you gone for?
I've gone for David Raya. I think he's been brilliant. Brentford have been excellent this season, and also he's a great shot stopper, but his ability to play the ball out from the back, his long-range passing, I think he's an excellent keeper. You know what United could do?
Yeah, could do a lot worse.
Most
saves in the Premier League this season.
Where's Alisson, though?
Most saves.
You could have had Alisson in it. Is Alisson not the best keeper in the world?
I think Alisson's probably the best keeper in the league, right?
So how is he not in there, then?
Because he's not had as good a season. I'm basing it off of this season.
Yeah.
I think Raya's had a better season, and I think you just heard that stat there. Most saves. I didn't even know that, but most saves.
You can have it. You can have that.
And also just the eye test. When they played against us, right, I was really, really impressed with him. So I'm going for Raya.
Okay. Either of you going to give any ground here, or me and Smith going to have to?
I love the argument. By the way, Brentford this season,
Yeah.
they've survived second season syndrome. They've been fantastic. So all respect to anyone from Brentford in this 11. Do you know what I mean? So.
All right, sounds like you're going David Raya then.
David Raya then.
David Raya.
Agreed
You're going
on
to place
something,
it.
You've agreed on something.
I
Good
can't believe
placement.
I agreed with Buvey.
Right back, Robbie and Buvey agreeing. So who are you going with right back? I think you've got the same name, Kieran Trippier, and I think, to be honest, this is nailed on, so let's stick him on. Let's not waste any time if there's an agreement.
What a season he's had,
move
just
straight
very
on.
briefly.
Yeah.
Kieran Trippier,
Yeah, brilliant season.
outstanding.
World class.
What a sign. He's
Any time you leave
top
Tottenham,
player.
you just step up, man.
had to get it in.
John, I'm back, Robbie.
Sorry, man,
he
sorry,
laughs at his
sorry.
own
That's
jokes
harsh.
more than anyone else laughs.
Sorry.
Let's get your centre-backs.
He's still
Let's do your
laughing.
centre-backs as a duo. Who presented?
Thiago Silva for me. He's the best player. Chelsea have been awful this season. He's the one player that any other club in the league would take. He's world class. I think he's top 5 centre-backs in the world on his
Do
day.
you?
Yeah.
Even
Obviously,
at
you wouldn't sign him for a 3-year deal. Of course not at his age, with all due respect. But in a one-off game now, I'd take him at City in the Champions League final tomorrow. I would.
Would you take him
world class
at City in a Champions League final?
Yeah, if we had to play
over the centre-backs that you've got
Yeah,
currently?
it'd be Diaz and Silva for me, maybe, and then Stones as a right back tucked in, maybe.
Having a great season.
Yeah, no, but Stones can play as a right back tucked in. I think Thiago Silva is world class.
Who are the two you've got, Robbie?
I've gone for Lisandro Martinez.
Now we're kicking,
who
Robbie.
I think has had he's had a great season. Of course, Arsenal were interested in him. I can see why. I thought he might be a bit too short, as a centre back, but he hasn't. He's been excellent. You know what I mean? And I went for Sven Botman as well of Newcastle.
You've got Sven Botman the other one.
Yeah, this guy's a Rolls Royce.
Do you want to put, if you agree on Sven, then should you stick him up?
Let's definitely Sven up because you both agreed on him. So Sven's going up.
That's a lot of Newcastle love so far.
You've got to give me one, lads. You've got to give me one.
I think Lisandro Martinez has had
Martinez. What you said about Martinez? Because
he's had a better season.
What a season he's had.
So 7 against Liverpool, 4 against Brentford,
6 against
Brighton
City.
at home. He has been bullied this season. I think people are saying he's had a good season because it's not been an awful season. He's never a World Cup.
He's been great. Since his first...
Lads, we're talking about maybe, in the last 10 years, the best centre-back in the last 10 years of football. In AC Milan, PSG, for
I agree,
Brazil.
he's been great, but 12,
I'm not doing it for this guy. I can't, lads. I can't. I refuse. He's nowhere near good enough. I'm actually glad you've got him because you're gassed about him. He's got a bit of energy, a bit of a passion merchant.
World Cup winner.
He'll never... Yeah, fair enough. He didn't start, though, did he? By the way, everyone talks about the World Cup. He didn't start against ahead of Otamendi. Otamendi, lads. I've won the argument. Come on.
I think
Cheers.
we are... He's going to be unhappy if we don't put Thiago Silva in, so let's stick him in and
That's got to be
move on.
Sandra. That's a disgrace.
Move on to left-backs. Who have you got?
Moreno, Aston Villa. What a defence they've had. I think it's hard with Aston Villa. They've got such a balanced squad that it's hard to pick out standout names. Maybe Ollie Watkins up front, but he's been solid. Obviously, a few less games than other left-backs that we could pick, but absolutely solid. A few assists as well this season. Yeah,
Yeah,
good
3
option
assists
for
in
me.
his last 9, actually.
And since Emery's come in, obviously he brought brought Moreno in January.
He's been good, but I think Luke Shaw has had a good season. You know what I mean? He's been consistent. You know, even the manager sometimes even played him as a centre-back.
Good point.
You know, I think defensively he's been pretty sound. Although
He's been okay.
you did remind me of the 7-0.
Moreno,
I started to remember the 7-0.
I'll give you
things like
Moreno.
that.
You can say Moreno.
No, let's say look, Moreno only came in January though.
But that's how good he's been. And now they're on a Champions League run. That's serious. That's impact. That's impact, lads.
You know
Hey,
what? I think I might go with his Moreno. You know,
We've got to do it then.
because I think
that's a decision.
7-0, the 6-3.
Can I just say Man United are third in the league? I know that there's been a few bad results in there, but
6-3, 7-0.
it's up to you.
Yeah,
It's up to you.
it's your-
If you've got
Europa
Moreno.
League.
Don't forget the Europa League, Robbie.
Yeah, Moreno.
Okay, there we go. So that is
This
the
is
back
outrageous.
four.
This is honestly outrageous. Right, let's move into. Have you got defensive
That is
midfielders?
Yeah.
Defensive midfielder,
Caicedo for me.
Casemiro.
Well, we were talking off air, and you were saying that he's bottled it, getting sent off a couple of times, grabbing people's necks and all that.
I never said he bottled it. No, all right. So this is what I really, really rate Casemiro highly. But what I was saying is I feel he's let United down a few times this season. Like the 2 sending offs, even the other night, he would have been on a, you know, he got another yellow card. He would have been suspended for the semis.
Europa
So,
League, yeah. Robbie,
he's been excellent. He has been excellent.
he's missed 7 of the last 11 Premier League games due to suspension.
Yeah.
Well, when he's played, he's been exceptional.
Yeah, he's been brilliant.
And Moreno's in there only played half a season.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is because of him. He's let the team down. Like that time when he tried to strangle the player and that. I'm just like, come on, Casemiro.
Come on, that wasn't a sending off though, Rob.
But Robbie,
strangling?
he's in your team, but all the arguments for Casemiro seem to be why you don't want him in your
No,
team.
no,
Exactly,
but
It's not very good.
I'm saying though, if you discount that, because the Buvey brought that up, if you discount that, he's probably been,
He's a top
you know,
player.
it's him and Rodri, Partey, the best.
Yeah.
Caicedo, he's
Caicedo
good.
you like though?
If you come in to Brighton, he cost nothing. He's come into a Brighton side that had their manager ripped out from them, the whole staff ripped out from them from Chelsea. He comes in. He's a humble guy, works so hard. Even the stuff with the January transfer to Arsenal, he handled it so well. I think if you're pushing Brighton to get to the Champions League positions, it could happen. Probably unlikely. But if you get Brighton and Hove Albion towards European football, I think he's been their best player.
You know what?
Consistent.
I think
What a
I'm
player.
gonna pass again on.
This is a wind-up. This is
Okay,
just,
no,
I'm not.
It's
He's
there.
made a good
honestly.
argument. You know, it's just that's the only thing that's let down Casemiro because
Discipline.
What I would say with Casemiro, he's a big-time player. He's a big-time player. I do really rate him, but it's just been those.
What big time for United in the Europa League?
Well, he's good in the League Cup final.
Coming
when he
third
scored
in the
goal.
league, is that big time
League
for
Cup
United
final,
these
yeah.
days?
Scored in the League Cup final at Wembley.
Yeah, he did
Not
score.
big time, is it? Casemiro's what, 4-time Champions League winner? Come on.
All right, let's go to your next midfielder then. Who's playing alongside him? Is there an agreement here? I think
I've got
maybe.
Bruno Guimaraes.
Yeah.
What a player? He'd start for Arsenal, he'd start for City.
Yeah,
World
he's
class
brilliant.
on his day, I think.
Yeah, he's exceptional.
Stick
for
him on
that.
then.
Get him out.
Yeah.
That's 3 Newcastle players. Still not got a Man United player who are third in the league on there. Just want to point that out. Another
He's
midfielder.
hurt, isn't he? He's hurt.
Joey's rattled, by the way.
Let it go, let it go.
Rattled.
Okay.
Right. Other midfielder, I've gone for McAllister of
Brighton midfielders.
Brighton. I think he's been brilliant this season. World Cup winner as well.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I think this guy's so underrated. I think if he does get a big move, we'll see just how good he is. But McAllister's been excellent.
So,
Is their top Premier League goals for this season? 8 goals. Joint top scorer in all comps with Mitoma.
Matoma for me,
you've got-
it's a preference of like the style of both players. I
how's
just
he
like.
fitting in the centre mid?
But he's not in the centre.
Lads, you got to think.
He's not in the
this is why I'm
centre,
a
is
City
he?
fan. I've seen Guardiola for years. You can tell you guys.
See,
are
he's
getting managed
overthinking
by
it like
Conte
Guardiola
and all
now,
that.
isn't he?
This is a free floating roll, lads.
You're,
No, come on.
overthinking it, man. I mean, McAllister, get McAllister in there.
yeah.
He's been excellent.
So, could you not have had Casemiro in there alongside that midfield?
Stop begging for
Casemiro,
Casemiro.
I
He's
can
out.
have
It's a
Casemiro.
theoretical 11. We're trying to park the bus.
You know, to me, Casemiro would be your sort of defensive midfielder, wouldn't he? So, but we went for.
Go on, let's see who you've got the next 3 then. So should we start with, is there an agreement in the forwards? You've both got Mo Salah, have you?
I've got Mo Salah.
Talk to me about him then. Do you know what I think it's gone under the radar, actually? A lot of people were talking about Mo Salah's season, but he scored 26 goals.
That's it.
In all competitions. I remember we were doing
Yeah,
comparisons
unbelievable,
with
isn't
other
it?
players, and I think that's gone a bit under the radar, hasn't it? Mo
Yeah,
Salah?
he's been fantastic. You know, he won a quadruple last season. He's been operating at a world-class level for 4 or 5 years. I do think he's dropped off a little bit. I think he's lost a little bit of maybe pace
Compared
or
to his high
confidence
standards,
or-
though, you're talking
yeah,
about.
definitely.
Yeah.
But to still score the amount of goals that he's
And I
scored,
think
unbelievable.
that's been despite the team not being
Yeah.
at the highest
Stick him
level.
on then.
He's been
There's
brilliant.
Total agreement.
Okay, so now there should be some debate here because, honestly, let's go. Have you got strikers before we get to the left wing spot?
Surely Kane is a no-brainer here. Absolute no-brainer.
Oh, it's a no-brainer. Ivan Toney, breakout season, man. Not even breakout season.
No, it's good,
he was excellent last year, excellent again this year. I'm telling you, right, when he came to the Emirates, right, I was so impressed with him. His hold-up play, the way he brings everybody in. I think as a team player, he has been exceptional.
He's had a brilliant season, but he scored 18 Premier League goals. Kane scored 23 Premier League goals. I mean, so how?
That's just because
what metric
all the
are you
goals.
not putting Kane in this team?
Huh?
How are you not putting?
I just told you because it's not just.
But he's a striker and he scored less goals.
Striker, hold-up play, so he'd be able to like hold it up, bring Salah into the game more.
Well, that's exactly what
bring
Kane
my
does.
other
Kane
winger.
plays as a 9 out of 10 now and brings players into it.
No,
In fact, he's one of the best players at doing that in the Premier League.
I know you're going to defend him, but it's my choice. You're trying to pursue. I think
it's outrageous if Harry Kane is not in.
How's it outrageous?
Because he's scored 23 Premier League goals. No one apart from Haaland scored more Premier League goals than him this season.
No, I'm going Ivan Toney.
It's outrageous, Robbie.
No, it's not outrageous.
You got Kane.
This is football bias at its maximum here. Come on.
It's not. It's not.
It's
This is
ridiculous.
the guy who's not put a single United player.
I'm not biased because you've been average this season, mate. What do you want me to do?
I recognise.
So you think this is the worst bit of bias you've seen him not putting Kane in?
I actually no, because I think Tony deserves to be.
Yeah, Tony's been brilliant.
Nominated.
I'd
You could even Ollie Watkins could shout for it as well. But for me,
shout.
Ivan Toney consistently all season. And remember, you're saying that about Kane. He's playing for a team that's not as good as Tottenham.
So do you think Toney can do it at top 16?
He's been the guy carrying the team. I know Kane's sort of been carrying Tottenham as well this season, but he's really carrying the team. He's led from the front.
Do you think Toney could play for one of the big six?
I would have Toney at Arsenal.
He'd start for you.
I would have Toney at Arsenal. He's an excellent player.
You think he'd start over Jesus?
He's better finished than Jesus. I love Jesus to bits. He works hard. He's a 1 in 3 striker, Jesus. He is. Ivan Toney, on his day, could be a 1 in 2 at a top level.
Ivan Toney's a top player, man.
Yeah, he has had a good season.
Yeah.
But
look,
it's got to be Kane,
goals
isn't it?
the most important. No, we haven't. I haven't said my thing yet.
Go on.
Look, ultimately, Harry Kane, the striking position is the most important role on the football pitch. We're scoring big goals every season. Harry Kane. If it's relative, pound for pound, that kind of thing, then of course Tony's been fantastic for Brentford. But come on, Harry Kane.
Stick him on. It's got to be Kane.
Okay, so finally we're about to get a Man United player up on the board here.
Not for me, lads.
Who have you got?
No Rashford.
Isaac. He's first season in the Premier League, powerful, great pace, getting goals and assists as well, getting Newcastle, a massive club like that, back into the Champions League. I think he's actually had impetus in the back end of the season as well. For me, Isaac all day long.
Just to confirm, no Man United players in your entire 11.
That's just my opinion. I'm not trying to be biased. I'm not trying to be a Man
You're
City
not trying
fan.
to be biased.
Fair play
Totally
to United.
biased.
They won a League Cup. Congratulations to them. Their first
You're
trophy
being
in
totally
6 years.
biased. I mean,
no bias.
Rashford's been electric this season. I think he's been one of the best players in the Premier League. You know what I mean? He's been exciting to watch. He's scored goals. And at times, he's carried United.
Absolutely.
He's carried United.
Best scoring season of his career.
Look at the goal scoring numbers behind him, 28 goals, and then you're looking at Bruno Fernandes, the only other player in double figures.
He has to be in the team. Come on. You're telling me about Kane. I think he's had a better season than Kane.
Rashford's been good, of course. I think the narrative for Rashford, there was a point in the season, this is real, in February kind of time, he's the best player in the world on form. People were saying that. Real football fans. If you said that and you're a football fan, you need to quit football, move to badminton or something. Seriously, Rashford, the best player in the world football.
I used to play badminton. Nothing wrong with badminton.
Yeah, I like it. We should get a game going. Rashford's been fantastic, of course, and it's great to see someone like that. As much as I hate to see it as a City fan, he represents United so well. He carries the shirt. It's important for United, of course. A little bit overrated, the world-class narrative.
I don't think you could put Isak in ahead of him yet.
I'll put my foot down.
Maybe
Can you put Rashford on the board, please?
Yeah. It's got to be Rashford.
It's got to be one Man United player on the board.
I've got to say, I'm completely neutral here. I think Isak's a top player, but it's got to be Rashford, isn't it?
Should we do managers as well? You both got a manager?
I've got a manager, Eddie Howe. I think he's had a great season. You know what I mean? Look where they are in the league. At one time, they were even challenging for the top of the league. You know what I mean? And I think, again, it's a bit like with Mikel Arteta, where he's... You know, no one expected that this season.
Yeah.
You know, he's been brilliant. He's been brilliant. And, you know, the players he's brought in, the way the team plays.
Yeah, I think Gary O'Neill is the easiest shout in the whole combined 11. I'm not, I honestly, God, because Bournemouth came up, they had no investment with Scott Parker, change of ownership mid-season. This is a club that doesn't have a massive gate, doesn't get massive revenue, with all due respect. You know, Bournemouth aren't a Premier League town or city, are they? And they're doing very well to punch above their weight. Should have beaten Arsenal, beat Spurs. Gary O'Neill is his first job. He's a young guy as well, just gone into management full-time. what a job he's doing, and I think they'll stay up in the league.
He's done a great job.
Need an agreement.
He's done a great job, but it's got to be Eddie Howe. I mean, I know he spent a lot of money, but he spent it wisely.
What about Unai Emery? What about Unai Emery?
Unai Emery's done really well, but I'd say
being relegated.
Unai Emery's been brilliant.
I'm going to chuck De Zerbi in as well. I think De Zerbi.
You know, when at first I was going to go De Zerbi, but I still think
semi-final link with you. Right, we need a decision anyway.
Yeah, I'd go Eddie Howe.
Go on, stick him on then. So there is confirmation of Buvey and Robbie's team of the season, excluding Man City and Arsenal players.
Man United,
let us know what you think. Rashford got in the end.